Hi Year 11, welcome to your weekly introduction video. I just wanted to have a go at some very easy questions for some knowledge that you're basically gonna need when we start looking at what we're going to look at. So stop your video, just have a go at these 6 questions here. As I say, I hope they're very easy. Okay, stop the video and do them. Okay, hopefully you've done that. As always with these videos, can you please do nice neat calculations in your book and take a picture of all the work that you're doing and submit it on Firefly. Okay, so the first one, obviously what you're going to do is you're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. So you'll end up with 40 is equal to x is equal to 40. Okay, same with question 2. Multiply both sides by 3 and you'll find that x is equal to 45. Okay, 3 is slightly different. What you're going to need to do with 3 is you're going to need to multiply both sides of the equation by x. So you're going to get 8x equals 64 and then divide both sides of the equation by 8. So 64 divided by 8 is 8, so x equals 8. Same with 4. 7x equals 32. X equals 32 over 7. You can leave it like that, or we can say that is equal to 4 5/7. Okay, and same with number 5. That's going to be 16x equals 21. So x equals 21 over 16, which is 1 5/16. Okay. Either improper or mixed number is okay unless the question specifically states. Okay, so that stuff should be easy. It's going to come in useful a little bit later on, so just bear in mind what you've just done there. Okay, if anybody's got any problem with understanding that, let me know. Okay, question 6, very simple. It's a Pythagoras question, and it's a very easy one to know. X is the hypotenuse, so we're just saying x squared equals 5 squared plus 24 squared, and then just use a calculator. Okay, so I'm going to get my calculator out. 5 squared plus 24 squared equals 601. So x squared equals 601. And then so x will be equal to the square root of 601. So root your answer. And you're going to get 24.5 centimeters to 3 significant figures. Okay, you can round off. Let me just double check that, make sure I haven't done anything wrong. 5 squared plus 24 squared, 601. Yeah. Okay, so nice easy warm-up questions for you. And all of these little warm-up questions are to help with the topic we're going to be doing today, which is trigonometry. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is by the end of this lesson, you're going to be able to understand all the trigonometric ratios. Don't worry if you don't know what that means just yet. Okay. You're going to be able to use trigonometric ratios to find unknown sides and angles. And we're going to learn how to do all of this on a calculator as well. And you're going to be able to solve problems with angles of elevation and angles of depression. So hopefully it will become clear what all of that means as we move forward. Okay. Now, what is trigonometry? Trigonometry is very similar to Pythagoras' theorem. So in Pythagoras' theorem, you're able to find the lengths of sides when you know 2 of the other sides. Okay. Well, trigonometry is helping us find sides when we know an angle and a side, or helping us find angles in a triangle, okay? And we use 3 functions for that. We use sine, cosine, and tangent, okay? Sine, cos, and tan, shortened names, okay? And primarily, when we start off with this kind of work, we're just looking at right-angled triangles, okay? It's quite basic with right-angled triangles. As we move on, we will be looking at what you do when it's not a right-angled triangle. Okay, now you should know already that the longest side on a right-angled triangle is called the hypotenuse. okay? But now we're doing trigonometry, you also need to be able to tell me what the other two sides are called. And it depends, okay? So we know that this side here is the hypotenuse, the longest side. But the other two sides, it depends where the angle is that you're interested in. So we use this sign here, this letter here. It's called theta. Theta, and that's how we denote a missing angle, theta, okay? And what the other two sides are called depends on where theta is. So if theta is here, then we call this side the opposite side. It's because it's opposite the angle, okay? And this side here we call the adjacent side. And adjacent means next to. So this is the side that is next to the angle, so it's called the adjacent side, okay? But what happens, oh hang on a second, so if we move the angle so that actually we're trying to find this angle instead, well then this side becomes the opposite and this side is the adjacent, okay? So the opposite side on your triangle is always the one that's sort of opposite where the angle that you're interested in is, okay? So if the angle moves, the opposite side moves as well. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, now there are 3 rules to remember, okay? 3 formulas, and you need to remember them and not on any formula sheet, okay? This is one of the formulas here. Tan theta, so the tangent of your angle, is equal to the opposite length divided by the adjacent length. Cosine of your angle is the adjacent length divided by the hypotenuse length. And the sine of your angle is equal to the opposite length over the hypotenuse length. So these sine, cos and tan, all they are is ratios, okay? And they are specific ratios. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, tan is opposite over adjacent. Now when you write these formulas, a classic mistake that I might see students make is they write this. That's not the formula, okay? That's not what it says. What we're saying is the sine of your angle is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. The cosine of your angle is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And the tan of your angle is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. For some reason, students forget the angle. And of course, that's the most important part. Okay, so there we go. We've got them written there. Now, the way we remember this, we use a word called SOHCAHTOA. Okay? SOHCAHTOA. And, that's just spelling out SOH, sine, opposite, hypotenuse. Cosine, adjacent, hypotenuse. Tan, opposite, adjacent. Okay? So now we've got that. I'm going to stop the video there because my pen's running out of battery. So there's your basic formulas. You need to write them down because you need to remember them. Okay? And here is a way you can remember it. Silly old horses can't always hear the other animals, or some old horses can always hear their owners approach. So it's just some silly ways there that you can remember SOHCAHTOA, the spelling of SOHCAHTOA, so that you can remember those 3 formulas. Okay? So I'm going to stop the video there and we'll continue in part 2.